Vince as a Wyatt family member. He was really the second party of the Wyatt family, and then of course Eric Rowan was the third party of the Wyatt family, and Bray Wyatt was your leader, of course, the initial Wyatt family member who started this craze in WWE. But in my opinion, the original Wyatt family over this new Wyatt family really can't get in out of their characters. Now, I have commented on the reunion of the Wyatt family, the newest member, Braun Strowman, in a written column. Obviously, Braun Strowman is getting over with WWE. Obviously, fans feel he has a lot of promise with his character. I feel he has some promise. I did allude to that in my column for In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke, talking about his promise when I commented on that for my column In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke, but he still has a long way to go. He still has a lot to prove, and he still has a lot to show me as a radio host and columnist. And you may be saying to yourself, that's only because you're a critic, and you criticize a lot of things going on, especially with wrestling, and you have for the last 17 years. And I have not denied that I'm somewhat of a critic. I really find time in criticizing a lot of things in WWE, but I mean, this guy is really not over. You can't tell me that someone like Braun Strowman is over just as much as someone like a Daniel Bryan was in 2014, or someone like a Bo Dallas is currently right now in WWE, even more so a Bray Wyatt. If you talk about someone who's over in WWE right now, it's a Bo Dallas character. It's a Bray Wyatt character. Bray Wyatt doesn't need Luke Harper or Braun Strowman to get over. You can easily have him go out on his own as a singles competitor. You can make him Intercontinental Champion if you have to. It's beyond me why this guy hasn't captured a singles championship, and you give the Intercontinental title to someone like Luke Harper, who doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship. Someone like a Bray Wyatt needs a singles title. If you don't have enough confidence in giving him the championship, like the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, you can easily give him an Intercontinental or United States Championship reign, at least to allow him to be established in WWE. This guy should not be getting away with being established as just a singles wrestler who is over in WWE without a singles championship. Obviously, he's proven he can do it, but to not reward him without giving him a singles championship, that is really a miscarriage of justice. In the words of Gorilla Monsoon, this guy is really over. He's proven he can hold his own against people like John Cena and Randy Orton, and he can probably hold his own against people like Sting and The Undertaker in a more, productive program, a more detailed program than what we saw at WrestleMania 31 with The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt just comes in and falls victim to The Undertaker after The Undertaker lost his streak the previous year to Brock Lesnar, and nothing was really done with Bray Wyatt's character thereafter. He had a feud with Ryback. He beat Ryback at the following pay-per-view, I believe at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and then really nothing was done with his character. He went through a soul metamorphosis from just being a solos competitor back to the Wyatt family, and it seemed like he was going around in circles. He was really lost, and then he just went around in a simultaneous circle, and now he's back as the leader of the Wyatt family. In my opinion, you really got to do something with the Wyatt family, and you really got to make them more noticeable now because they have new members and they have a new feel about them. This is not the original Wyatt family again that we're talking about. A lot of people also have said that Braun Strowman is someone who's going to replace The Undertaker or probably have a feud with The Undertaker, possibly even be the guy to retire The Undertaker. I don't believe that. I'll believe that when it happens, because you still have a number of legends who come in to retire The Undertaker. The Undertaker Sting match is looming over our heads. We're trying to decipher when, where, and how this match is going to happen, when it's going to happen, and why it's going to happen, because they have to give us a reason for this happening. Probably something will happen by the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where Sting will interject himself in the Hell in a Cell match between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. It's highly unlikely it'll happen because of Sting breaking his neck at the Night of Champions pay-per-view, returning in less than a month to screw over The Undertaker in this match to give him a reason to challenge Sting at WrestleMania is highly unlikely, but they need to give us a reason for that happening. I really don't see Braun Strowman being a guy to get into the ring with The Undertaker, because The Undertaker doesn't need to fight someone like Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt was over with WWE by the time he was a consideration to put in the ring against The Undertaker, and I wouldn't doubt it if WWE had more considerations to put in the ring against The Undertaker this year for WrestleMania 31. I just think they jumped the gun and put someone like a Bray Wyatt in the ring with him because they had nothing for The Undertaker to do. I mean, Brock Lesnar was in your main event against Roman Reigns. Sting and Triple H are really the focal point of this year's WrestleMania, so they really had nothing at the end of the day by the time the dust was settled and the smoke was cleared for The Undertaker to do this year at WrestleMania, so they threw him in the ring against Bray Wyatt for all of 20 minutes with The Undertaker winning via the Tombstone Piledriver. He got over with the fans, but I mean, everybody was talking about the incredible effort between The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt in that exchange, and I think that really put Bray Wyatt over. So The Undertaker accomplished, coming back with a victory. He hasn't lost a match since his return. The minimal matches for The Undertaker since his return at WrestleMania 31. I know probably 2 or 3 matches he's had since his return, but the thing is, someone like Bray Wyatt really got over, win or lose, in that match, and that's why I think Bray Wyatt shouldn't go without being rewarded. But then still, in all, everybody is talking about someone like a Braun Strowman, and I really don't know. Maybe it's because of the novelty of his character, and that's really what it is. He's just kind of there. And it's the novelty of his character. But like I said, he still has a lot to prove. I'm not saying that he's not going to prove anything 6 months from now. He could have proven he should be a worthy contender for the championship, and he probably will be in matches with people like John Cena and Randy Orton, if not before then. We are going to see matches between Braun Strowman, John Cena, and Randy Orton. We are eventually going to see that. It's just a matter of when, where, and how these matches surface and come to be. But the thing is, right now, if you ask me, my personal perspective and my point on this is that Braun Strowman is really not ready to be in the ring against people like John Cena and Randy Orton. Not to mention that people like John Cena and Randy Orton don't need to prove anything against someone like Braun Strowman. Right now, we're seeing Braun Strowman in a program with Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton, but right now, really, this program is really just being benefited to people like Braun Strowman and Dean Ambrose. We haven't seen these one-on-one matches between Braun Strowman and Randy Orton on pay-per-view yet, and it's going to be a while before we see matches like that for championships and in the main event position, because people like Braun Strowman need to prove things to WWE creative. He needs to prove that he can hold his own, and until he can do that, he's not going to be given these opportunities to face the likes of people like The Undertaker, John Cena, and Randy Orton in bigger matches on the one he's doing right now. Luke Harper and Braun Strowman against Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton in Hell in a Cell. It's not really an interesting program. It's just one of these matches that are just there on the pay-per-view card, and there are going to be a lot of matches that are just there featuring Braun Strowman, like the six-man tag team match with the Shield's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. The remnants of the Shield teamed up with Chris Jericho to face the Wyatt family in a six-man tag team match. These are just matches, again, that are just there on the pay-per-view card. Chris Jericho's return was the biggest thing to happen in that six-man tag team match, and that's what got over the six-man tag team match with the Shield, the remnants of them teasing a partner for the six-man tag team match, and it just happened to be Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was one of my suggestions to be the partner of Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns because they were promoting him for a Canadian tour in places like Winnipeg and Alberta, so obviously they were putting him over, teasing his return, and they put him in that six-man tag team match. That's scenario with the Shield facing the Wyatts in a 2-on-3 handicap match if they couldn't have found a partner. Obviously, that partner was Chris Jericho. It was deemed Chris Jericho, and they went the distance. And it seems like, people are just talking about Braun Strowman because he's just there, because it's not like the guy is winning match after match. He has lost matches. He's kind of on a losing streak. He has won a fair share, but he's lost so many as well thrown in there. So it's not like he's undefeated in the way of a Rusev character. If he was a Rusev character and they would have taken that approach for someone like Braun Strowman, and he would still be undefeated, I believe more in the case of him facing someone like The Undertaker by WrestleMania 32 or 33. But right now, I don't really believe in that because it's just as many matches as he's won. He's lost just as many as well. So he still has a lot to prove. I just think people are jumping the proverbial gun and or fence by saying that someone like Braun Strowman deserves to be in the position that he's in, and he's the replacement of Eric Rowan. That's what it comes down to. People are saying he deserves to be in that position that he's in, but the thing is, people like Braun Strowman are just there because they're the replacement for someone like Eric Rowan, who isn't coming back anytime soon. And I was more of a bigger fan of Eric Rowan wearing the goat's mask than I am of someone like Braun Strowman wearing the black sheep mask. Abigail's black sheep is his current role in WWE, and he was just there in the right place in the right time. If you haven't seen anything about Braun Strowman before, I highly recommend you go to YouTube or Hulu and look up some of the videos of him on NXT before he was deemed the newest member of the Wyatt family. He was really impressive on there, coming up through the ranks. That will give you a better idea of what this character is really all about. For his size and his presence, yes, he deserves to be there. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be there, but I just think he's extremely overrated because he really hasn't proven anything. A tag team match where we're seeing Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose face the Wyatt family members Luke Harper and Braun Strowman really doesn't prove anything to me. It doesn't get Braun Strowman over because with just as many matches as he's won, he's lost just as many as well. So he still has a long way to go, and he still has a lot to prove. But what do you think? At the end of the day, your opinion is the opinion that matters more so than my opinion. I'm just the critic throwing my opinion your way. You can give me your opinion in the comments of this video. At the bottom of the video, beneath the graphic, you can give me your opinion and your thoughts on Braun Strowman at Jonathan Clarke 22. You can tweet me your opinion with the creative hashtag as well. That's always appreciated at Jonathan Clarke 1. You can give it to me on Google Plus at HEW Entertainment, on my Facebook page at HEW Entertainment. Those are some of the ways you can get in on the conversation. And by the way, guys, we have new social media buttons found throughout our website, making it easier than ever before for you to pull up our social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and so on. on. So you can get in on the conversation by clicking one of those buttons and let me know what your opinion is. We have several email buttons as well found throughout our website, and we have a discussion form. As you're coming into the website, just click discussion form, sign up for the form, and get in on the conversation about such things as Braun Strowman, The New Day, Kane, everything going on in WWE, because there's so much going on, probably not as much as what we've seen in recent years, but at least there's a fair share amount of topics to talk about in the way of discussion for professional wrestling, and we invite you to get in on all of that. Less than 1 week away from Halloween, and so be it. We're talking about Braun Strowman and how much he's over in WWE, apparently more so than a Bray Wyatt, which I find really fucking hard to believe, because he's just kind of there in the right place at the right time. But what do you think? Tell me on social media throughout Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on Google Plus at HEW Entertainment, Facebook.com/HEW Entertainment. Get in on the conversation with near 1,500 subscribers listening to our show. Thank you guys so much for getting in on the conversation. Over 2,000 videos uploaded on YouTube at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22 with nearly 60,000 channel views. And on Twitter, we have a lot of followers, and we have over 45,000 tweets, all going down for you at Jonathan Clarke 1, and a lot of exclusive content too, by the way, on Twitter and Facebook that you won't find on our website. That's the catch. You got to be following us on social media, on whatever social media campaign you've signed up for. You get access to these exclusive photos, videos, and news items that you won't find on our website. So get in on the conversation, join us, and let us know what's on your mind. Let your voice be heard, because you have a voice, so use it, and let your voice be heard about professional wrestling. We'd love to know what your thoughts are on people like Kane, Braun Strowman, The New Day, The Divas Revolution. There's so much going on, and there's never been a better time to be a wrestling fan, so get in on the conversation. What I've got for you now, it's Little Mix and their song Black Magic, and I will see you next week. You're listening to HEW Entertainment Radio.